Okay, recording started? Excellent. Who does the intro? Should I start? Because I'm
Good if
stuck.
you wanna.
Okay, so hello, welcome to Toonkind's 12 FPS. This is Lucky Break, and I will be playing Lucky Jack, and yeah, I'm Cranky. I will be playing Lucky Jack, and uh, also another figure who will.
Hello, I'm Vamp. I'll be playing Mersel, whose height is an outlier and should not be counted, and and someone else.
We got some secret guests here who we may not reveal. Anyway, no, we will reveal. Anyway, we got secret guests. That's
Let's
the
see
point
how
I
the
was.
cards go.
Fable is concerned. Um.
Maybe
Okay,
it should be.
and right now, I will start the game, and then Vamp will follow up with leading once I'm done with my part. Okay, so we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, so uh, Marcel. So it might have been lovely weather. Sky might have been absolutely clear, cloudless, but as it stands now, you are about to get soaked because uh oh my gosh, can I start it? I'm gonna start over. So anyway, so I suppose I should first ask, what are you doing, Marcel?
Well, he's probably just in Toontown. Probably just like walking down the sidewalk and thinking, what am I going to do tonight?
Fair enough. He's just vibing. Uh, and as I just said, it might have been lovely weather. It might have been absolutely clear, but right now, Marcel, you're about to get soaked. Because in a particularly toony fashion, storm clouds gather, lightning strikes, and that means rain. I would thankfully there's a bus stop nearby, but you're gonna need to roll dexterity. You're gonna need to roll dexterity.
Oh boy. Holy
Oh,
shit,
oh
pretty
my
tricky.
gosh. You skillfully evade the torrent of water that just pours from the heavens. And you get under there absolutely unscathed. You you are completely dry, but unfortunately, it's raining so hard that you're probably going to be stuck under there for a while.
he he just sighs as he looks at like the really heavy like sleet of rain, and like you said, like he knows better than to step out, and he doesn't have an umbrella, and he could try sprinting for his apartment, but with how heavy the rain is, he's not looking forward to wringing the water out of his clothes. Better just stay put.
Yes. Um. So it doesn't like this. Scenes, similar scenes of like if there was anyone else on the street, they've already dived for cover or just like desperately like running past to get somewhere they need to be. So ev- everyone who happened, if anyone was on the street, they're gone now, except for one figure who doesn't seem to be in too much of a hurry to get anywhere. They're absolutely soaked to the bone, but they seem to just be slowly strolling towards the bus stop, which you happen to be under. It's a bird. It's a pretty tall bird, but not as tall as you, Marcel. Uh, it's got a long neck. It's got some. It's got some like long legs, and it's got shoes on, which I guess is kind of weird for a bird. It looks like this.
I will say that seeing a shadowy, tall figure like fall through heavy rain was probably a bit unnerving, but he's not actually that weirded out. Like he dates Tobias who whenever it rains runs out under the rain like a madman.
So the bird finally approaches you. It is dripping wet, and uh, it greets you with a nod and steps under the same bus stop as you are. And then it's gonna shake itself off. It's gonna shake off the water. I would like you to roll another dexterity
Oh man. One.
It seems that whatever water was on this bird was mostly transferred to you, Marcel. I'm sorry, you're soaking wet now.
He makes like despairing noise and like such a despairing noise because he went to do not get soaked. And now he's looking at like the bird like man.
Lovely weather today.
Uh
Uh,
I suppose if you like rain, yes it is.
Lots of things like rain. You are Marcel.
And he is now looking at this bird and he doesn't know why, but he's feeling very unnerved. Uh
I mean, there's a lot of things unnerving about this bird.
exactly. And he goes, yes, that's how do you how do you know many?
I am often correct. But also, I will say that the magazines do like to gossip.
Magazines. Ah, I that's understandable. And he's looking he relaxes a little at that because yeah, that makes sense, right? He is dating Tobias and like Primrose, and after recent events, like of course magazines would be
Yeah.
talking about him.
And this bird just kind of stands there. It is uh she the bird is just kind of eyeing you slightly, but like not it's not particularly interested. It's just like lazily looking over you mostly because you're the only other person around here.
I think like again, in the interest of them both being the only two people under the bus stop, he's going to strike up conversation.
Excellent.
So you got pretty soaked out there. Were you trying to get anywhere?
I am in no hurry. It is I do have a bus to catch, but that can wait, and I can wait.
Ah, aren't you? And he kind of gestures at the bird because even though she shook off most of her water, most of which soaked him, was still like somewhat damp. Aren't you cold?
she she is somewhat damp. Um, perhaps I don't mind it.
Uh,
It is interesting standing at a bus stop with a minor celebrity, I suppose.
he flushes a little and his hat over like his face a little. I wouldn't I wouldn't go that far. I'm only really the chef.
Well, you've also gotten in quite a few adventures, haven't you? I've heard
I'm
so
sorry.
much. Oh, you know. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
He is looking at this bird again, and what little relaxation like he's been managed to like gather kind of drips away and to be replaced with tension. And I don't know what you're talking about actually. What did the magazine say about me?
I have sources other than the papers, of course, but oh, that adventure you had at oh, you've had so many adventures. No Man's, I suppose. And let's see. Oh, she's quite invested in you compared to other compared to others.
He he turns to look at the bird completely at the mention of no man's because no one is supposed to know about no man's. Like the entire point was that down in no man's the only people who knew the full details were the chaos fan. And he's just, do you know Bob or Gil or Sandy or Ross?
I know of them. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting any of them, but I know many people. You
And
could say I know everybody, but that would be a lie. No, I
uh and how do you know about no man's then?
lucky guess.
He he doesn't know why, Cranky. He doesn't know why. But every word coming past this bird's mouth, he's just slowly getting more and more tense. He looks like he looks up at the like outside the bus stop, and he is legitimately considering like making a step inside his apartment. He's already partly soaked, but as if like in answer to that, the rain just starts raining harder.
Yep. Enough about that, I suppose. She laughs slightly. Um, I suppose we could change topics if you would like.
Uh, I would appreciate that. Yes.
Do you play any instruments?
Oh,
I'm quite fond of the fiddle myself.
I play the piano. It's the only instrument
Ooh,
I know how to play, I'm afraid.
nice choice. Um, give me a second.
I'm just I'm just imagining us like he's getting more and more formal in speech around this bird.
Yep, sounds about right.
And hmm, hmm, I could
Give give me a second. I do have you know, while I haven't met any of any of your other friends in person, I do know what was his name now? Jack? That rabbit.
at the mention of Jack, at the mention of Jack, like his face like kind of lights up a little, and he goes, "Oh, you know Jack?
Oh yes, we are friends, you could say.
Ah,
We had we had we had a lovely game evening playing cards one time a few years back. Haven't seen him since, of course, but he likes to run off.
that does sound like him." And I assume he won the game.
Hmm, oh, how would you say it? It was a bit of a draw.
He inside his head, he's going a draw with Jack.
In cards.
Yeah, he fully expected this person to go, oh yes, but I'm pretty sure he cheated or something. Not a draw, and he accepted this draw.
Mm, took some persuasion, but he had some other things to deal. He didn't have the time to finish another game.
Uh, and he kind of nods at that. Well, yes, I know Jack. Although, and here he pauses. If you haven't seen him in 3 years, how do you know that I know him?
Oh, I do. I haven't met him. I do like to keep an eye on him.
An eye on him?
More than one, I suppose, but what's going on? Stalker.
He's just mentally in his head. What is
uh,
Does he know you keep an eye
do,
on him?
I'm hoping he would have guessed. Uh, do you? I suppose. Do you want to take a closer look at this strange bird?
Yes, he would. Very much so. I could roll insight. Would that be insight?
Sure, go ahead.
Did I argue? All right, hold on. 13.
Well, as far as you know, that's just a really weird bird.
A really weird word who's making him feel all sorts of nervous.
And as the DM has run out of things to say and terrorize Mersel with, I'm going to say that at this point, the bus arrives. And and the bird looks at the bus, looks back at you, Mersel, and says, well, as you can see, I must go. Until next time.
Wait,
And yes,
wait. You never told me your name.
you can call me whatever. I don't know. That sucked.
It's all right. It's all right.
She's not gonna say. She's not gonna just say her name. Anyway, give me a second. Let me redo that. Wait. I think it would be more fun if you tried to guess yourself.
I think at those words, he would actually like do another inside check.
Please.
I am using my luck point. Cranky, I am using my luck point. Oh shit! Come on.
Pasa does not want you to look at this bird.
I mean, oh my god. I mean, could I argue for advantage since he's looking at this bird like much closer after
Oh,
he said all the things
sure.
he
And plus, it's just. Anyway, go ahead. One
I
more
swear
try.
to God. I swear to fucking God. Finally.
Well, you you see. Well, you see this as the bird takes one last look at you with her crimson red eyes, and there's a crown you didn't seem to have noticed before. But she turns away and she boards the bus. and she leaves. Um,
He
now, yeah.
he just sacks like against his seat, and I'm gonna casually roll Arcana actually. 17. Would you say he remembers anything about any magical beings or like myths or legends or deities?
I'm gonna say that like misfortune isn't exactly like she's not a major deity, but she is in like fairly common knowledge kind of. Like you know how like Greek gods are, like not everyone knows all the Greek gods, but like there's some like ones that you might know,
Yeah,
like you might recognize the name
I
of.
know exactly what you mean. The second he realizes that was misfortune, he just immediately like slumps in onto the seat of the bus stop and goes, "Ugh," like his soul has been sucked out of his body.
Oh no.
And
And
he
I
just
don't know.
goes,
Oh, sorry. You go.
sorry, I'm just gonna say that he just goes, I don't envy Lucky Jack.
And speak of the devil, um, I don't know. Do we go back? Do we transition to the other scene immediately, or
Yeah, sure. Let's
okay?
rewind. Let's
Let's
rewind to let's
rewind.
rewind. Rewind time. We're actually rewinding a little bit longer than so we're rewinding to probably around 15 minutes before our FPS like started. Because you
Mhm.
know how rain clouds work, they move, right? And Jack
Yeah.
was in another part of town when the rain clouds started to gather. And what is Jack doing?
Uh, Jack has been doing, yeah, you know, a, a little like mostly he was just in some other part of town, and he decided, well, anyway, he got some like shopping done a little bit, not like a lot, but like he does have snacks now, so that's something nice. uh
Roll?
and roll dexterity.
Yes, or perception. Either one you can go with.
Okay. Well, for that, I would need to. Oh gosh, please. This will be very silly if it turns out that I forgot. Jack, please tell me I have his sheet. Okay. Yes, I do. Okay. Okay. So, perception, you said?
Perception or dexterity? Perception to notice like the rain clouds and figure that out, or dexterity to dodge the rain.
I mean, he'd probably have to see the rain clouds first to be able to dodge it, so I'm just gonna do both.
All right, sure. Holy shit! All right,
Okay,
rough 20. Yes, you
he
definitely.
absolutely sees those clouds, and he is going to 20 plus 3. That is yes, and getting out of the rain is a bit harder to do.
Well, it makes sense. He has just been shopping, so he has those bags to worry about.
No, it's not like a big bag, but yes, he does have bags to worry about.
So he gets a little soaked, nothing much, but he manages to at least like outrun the rain as run like fast and not get too soaked. And by a stroke of luck, there happens to be a bus waiting at a bus stop nearby.
And by lucky coincidence, it also happens to be in the direction he's going anyway.
The bus seems to be about to leave. So if
Oh,
Jack wants to
he is
find out,
going to sprint. Do I need to roll for that? I mean, kind of.
You could if you wanted, like pause
I'm just gonna see how quick he is at it. Decent enough.
He
He gets on there.
he gets on there, but you know when like you hold up a bus because you were late coming, or like the bus driver slows down to like wait for you, and like the passengers give you dirty looks.
Who the heck gives you dirty looks when you do that?
I
Well, they do Jack. They do Jack, absolutely.
like they like it's not like, oh, I hate your assistant kind of looks. It's just like, seriously, you're gonna wait for another bus or wait at the bus stop.
Anyway,
The bus
uh,
the bus is pretty full, which makes sense because it just started raining and a lot of people probably he came on for the
mm,
sole purpose of cover. And
probably had the same idea as Jack.
yeah, and there seems to only be one empty seat, and it's next to a lady, a toon lady.
Well, Jack is going to take the only available seat because he's got one leg. The prospect of standing in a bus doesn't exactly appeal to him.
Oh, hello. And the lady next to him speaks. She's quite a bit taller than Jack, although that isn't much of an achievement, let's be honest. And
uh,
she's just been staring out of the window and into like the rain when Jack came on.
uh, Jack just kind of like uh, gives her like an odd look and is just hi, and he's like gonna like look away.
She takes a long look at him, and then you see her clap her hands a little, like in excitement, and she goes, "Oh, you're Lucky Jack."
um, yeah, yes, because Jack. Well, again, Jack is an actor. It's probably not that unusual to recognize him on the streets. He doesn't like it too much, but it's a thing that happens now on occasion.
She just goes, "Oh, I'm Lucky. I I've been following you for a while now. Hello.
Uh,
I love your work."
uh, well, thank you. Thank you.
And
Thanks.
this lady, like, she is very friendly, but not in the way that makes you like feel uncomfortable or anything. Like,
Yeah,
if anything, she seems to like exude this warmth that makes people like want to talk to her.
yeah, and yeah. Nah, I get that. Jack is just a bit of an idiot.
And I think she would go, you I s- how I've always wondered how is it being an actor at Tilda Studios?
Well, I'd say it's it's pretty it's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting. You know, the engineers, the engineer's pretty. He's a good guy. You know.
I I believe that, considering his movies. Uh, is Have you met anyone else at the studios? I know you worked in that movie alongside two others. What were their names? Tobias Crowell and March.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, I've yeah. There's them too, but there's also a lot of people there. Yeah, it's a whole studio. Jack is just like suddenly loose tongue to this stranger, and he hasn't really caught on yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just harmless information. Like, she's only asking him who he knows in the studio.
Yeah, like I mean, well, we just finished filming this we've just finished filming a whole series. So there's Primrose, forgot her last name.
Poodle?
Yes. Her. She's cool.
I mean, it sounds like a very fun place to work at.
And I mean, where where else can you you know blow things up with? Uh, I mean, there's other places where you can blow things up with no legal repercussions, but this one comes with you know making it look cool on purpose.
You sound you do sound like you get along with everyone there.
Do I?
Well, the ones that you mentioned at least.
I mean, uh, I don't I don't get along with them badly. Uh, there's that. Uh, Jack says he's like kind of like fiddling with like the bag of snacks.
I mean, surely there are a few in the studio that you're close to.
Uh, I mean, there's Marcel. He's the you wouldn't know him. He's the he works in the kitchen. He's I he's 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 a cool guy. Uh,
And she's resting her cheek on her hand, and she goes, "Oh, sounds like you both are close then."
and I mean, uh, I I just you know I just enjoy his company and also his baking. That's pretty good too.
Of of course. And how? What do your family think about you working at the studio?
um, well, they don't know. They don't know that I work in film. They don't know anything about me at the moment. I've oh geez, I
Wouldn't they recognize you on the movie posters and screens?
um well maybe, but they haven't done anything to contact me, and I think the fact that my eyes have changed color and distinct lack of a foot might have done something to make that a little more difficult. Uh,
Have you tried to contact them?
well, I sent them one letter, but I kind of didn't give a return address, or at least not mine.
Well, then they probably don't even know that you're. Well, yes, then they probably don't even know that you're working in the studio. I hope it's not too lonely.
Well, why? What? Uh, should I? I'm just gonna roll insight to see if Jack is now realized. Like he.
Yeah, because he's just
Anyway, he.
filling information.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna see if he's catches on that. Like, hey, I don't want to be sharing this anymore. No,
Oh
he's
shit!
just gonna keep on He's just gonna keep on rambling.
I am so sorry, Chad. She's gonna ask him like, doesn't it feel lonely being alone in the studio without your family?
I I mean, the studio is full of great great people. There's I mean, there's engineer, there's Tobias, and Shorts kid. I mean, I didn't get along with any. I mean, I got along with some of them at first, but some of them I tried to push away. But it's getting better. It's getting better.
I'm glad to hear that. That's better than pushing people away never works. It only makes things harder for yourself. And
I'm. I mean, does it never work? I mean, bound to bound to work at some point.
well, perhaps it's good that your friends don't sound like they'll let you though.
Well, I I hope I don't I think I think I'm hopefully uh I'm here to stay with them.
I'm sure you will. And she's smiling at you. And you could roll another insight into yourself if you want to, Cranky.
Yes. Oh shoot. Give me a second. Keyboard, why do you betray me?
14. All right, you know what? Like with the kind of information you've been spilling, like it was so natural to you to start talking about this. Like you didn't even think twice about opening up. But now like there is that little trickle of doubt as you realize
Mhm.
exactly what you've been saying to just a random stranger on the bus.
Who are you?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Who are you? I don't. Why am I telling you this?
I don't know. Why are you telling me this?
Don't don't get clever with me. He's going to try and stare at him. He's gonna see if he recognizes her. That would be perception, I suppose.
Perception, yes.
That's a 15.
15. Now that you're looking, you've realized that even though you've been sitting next to her on the bus this entire time, you actually haven't like registered a single detail about her. It's like every time you stare at her, your eyes just slide away and you find yourself like incapable or unable to like register any details or really remember her properly. But now that you're actively looking at her and making the conscious effort to keep your gaze on her, you finally do like see what she looks like. And she looks like this. Er, And I think that you would definitely know who she is, considering that she's wearing a necklace with her sickle on it, and her eyes are a twin of Marcel's, barring the gold.
I uh does he realize that like this is a deity and not a person?
I mean, you could like he's your character.
Uh
Just
yeah,
doesn't
I'm
know
just
intelligence or
he's yeah, no, he's probably like trying to explain it as like, oh, there's no way I'm on a bus with a god.
and
I
she just smiling at him.
I don't who I don't know who you are. I know you like another wacky wishing star warlock or but
Oh,
who
oh, little one. Think higher in the hierarchy.
what?
Think higher in the hierarchy.
A bit tired? No. No.
And
No.
she's raising an eyebrow at him and still smiling. You kind of get the feeling like you are a particularly adorable insect under a magnifying glass.
Jax has droop and like he's he's like leaning away, and he is very tempted to actually go stand in like the other end of the bus.
As if in response to that, the bus suddenly like hits a little bit of turbulence, like what a stroke of bad luck. Or well, it's luck. But the bus hits like a turbulence, like it runs over was it called? A sleeping zebra? I don't remember what those were called. Those
The
little like
speed bump, speed
yeah,
bump.
yeah, it hits a speed bump and like the bus like goes a lot of turbulence and you see like the toons like standing like kind of like give an awkward yelp as they have to like scramble to keep upright. And he's smiling at you still.
Oh, okay. Um, what what do you want from me anyway?
I well, and here she puts a hand to her cheek. Well, Miss Fortune was coming down here today, and I'm not immune to curiosity myself. I thought I'd come join her on the mortal world. It's been ages since I've come down here. And and here she smiles at him again. And what you had like previously considered so friendly, like it's still friendly, it just carries this it just feels off as she smiles at you and she goes, and I'll admit to being curious about you.
Well, haven't you haven't you stated your curiosity? You've asked quite a few personal questions that I would not that I'm not fond of having shared. So back off, Your Highness.
When he calls her Your Highness, she raises an eyebrow at him and like she frowns a little.
uh, he like yelps a little, and he shrinks into himself a little bit. Like he's still like bristling, but also he's like, oh shit.
And as she looks at him, she quietly goes, you do well to remember who you're talking to, little misfortune. If I'd wanted you to tell me everything, you would have.
Uh, Jack doesn't like he doesn't know what to say in response to that, so he just kind of like sits quietly and just nods. Like, yep, understood.
And then she smiles at him, like as if like everything's forgiven. And he goes, but I shouldn't be too hard on you. Ah, if only misfortune hadn't gotten to you first.
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, well, I've been watching you. You are around my warlock so much. Of course, I would see you from time to time. And, well, you seem like you make such a good warlock of mine.
Uh, well, I well, I won my pact fair and square. Well, not fair, but I won it.
She's just like, she's smiling and like, she doesn't say anything, but you can hear the unspoken words like, did you actually win? But she goes, well, yes, but I could have been good for you. I might have been even been good for I might have been good at you. Although you might have needed a harsher hand than my own warlock.
He is suddenly very glad that he's uh in like that he is a warlock of misfortune and not wishing star.
I have been meaning to ask. How are you doing after that close brush with death a while back? That was something.
I'm doing just fine, thank you very much.
I'm glad to hear it. For a second there, I thought you were going to die, and ah, I will admit that would have been a terrible twist, wouldn't it? Especially with the kind of dynamic you've built with everyone else. I know the studio wouldn't have gone on very well without you.
Well, I'm not dead, and I'm not planning on dying. So, and
Well,
I'm doing just fine.
I I believe you. Try to take care of yourself. Hmm?
Sure.
Try to take care of yourself. I mean, I know I would hate it if your story was cut short.
Who wouldn't?
I'm so sorry for Jack, by the way, Cranky. I'm so sorry I'm bullying him so much.
No, it's okay. I was bullying Cell earlier, so.
She, speaking of Cell, like she actually like puts her cheek on her hand again and goes, "Oh, so you mentioned my warlock.
What about him?
I didn't know you both were that close."
Well, well,
Sorry,
so
sorry,
what's it to you? What's it to you?
I accidentally left the voice call. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh no. He said again he went back to being a little bastard. It's like what's it to you?
And this time she lets it slide because, he assumes that it's born out of worry for her warlock, so she lets it slide and she goes, "Well, he is my warlock, of course. I have a vested interest in affairs."
uh yeah. Um
Roll Actually, if you'd like, you can roll insight.
I will. That is a +1. 15.
Alright, with a 15, you can get that she legitimately is asking, like, "Hey, how's my warlock doing?" Like, she cares for him, but you can also, like, figure out that her care is she doesn't actually like Mersel on equal ground to herself, nor does she
Oh,
see you on equal ground to herself.
oh no, that he definitely got that kind of he definitely gets that kind of idea. And he's going to say that so he's he's doing all right.
Mm, I almost feel bad for putting him through what I do sometimes, but what you know, you know how it is.
I don't think I do, but uh, what? Yeah, yes. I sure no, I definitely don't know how it is.
Well, sometimes what someone needs isn't necessarily what they want. Hmm?
Uh, sure.
After all, what you need is to talk to your family again, but you don't want that, do you?
Um, I I know that. I don't need you to tell me that. Uh, ma'am.
Sorry, Jack. I'm so sorry. He's just bullying me.
He's just he just doesn't know how to act around this person because it's like
Because he's like, on one hand, she's a baby, but on the other hand, like, she's acting like she's just so off.
she is so off.
Friendly, but so off. And I think she would laugh at that. Like she would laugh a little behind her head and go, "Oh, I see why misfortune took you on."
I um yeah. Uh also give me a moment. Da, da, da.
Mm. Oh yeah, sure. I I've been what you said earlier about you winning your pet fair and square. Would you care to elaborate? If you need to get it off your chest, I'm always here to listen. After all, I won't tell.
I'm not getting anything off my chest, but this sure I cheated, but misfortune cheated too.
Oh, I know.
So
Hmm. And you say you won.
no one won.
Hmm. What was the exact terms to your deal?
What?
What were the exact terms to your deal?
What I that I'm not sharing.
And she looks at him and goes, I want to hear it
I
from you.
can't can't you go ask misfortune yourself?
Well, yes, but I want to hear it from you.
He he looks at like outside the bus and's like, when's the nearest stop?
You're in luck, Jack. The nearest stop is soon if you were to answer her question.
Look, she 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 promised me magic, and and she got the idea that I would give her my foot if she won, and no one won. So both we had to compromise, which was she gives me magic and I give her the foot.
Wait, hold on, Cranky. Let me go. And she just nods and goes, very well. And oh, look, isn't this your stop? You see
He
that the bus like kind of starts slowing down, and you see like a bus stop coming up.
Yes, and Jack is going to take that opportunity to he slinks out of his chair
Before he does that, though, before he does
and
that,
then he just yes.
before he does that, she motions at him to look at her,
Okay.
and she boops his nose, and he feels like all the water and rain that had like the little water and rain that had soaked him earlier from and made him damp, like it goes away. He's completely dry and clean again.
he'll he'll like his fur bristles at that, and he's just gonna slink out of his chair and do that the kind of run you do when you don't want to look like you're running, but you're very obviously trying to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and
That kind of
she doesn't stop him. Like as he runs to like the back door of the bus to like disembark, she's looking at the front of the bus where the door to the front of the bus had opened and only one passenger comes on.
and it is Misfortune, who is currently very bird-like at the moment.
I assume Miss
Uh,
Fortune's gonna slide into the seat that Jack vacated.
oh, absolutely.
That were
Absolutely. That is what did you say?
no, you continue, you continue.
No, I thought you said something, but I didn't hear it.
Oh, she's just going to say, that warlock of yours, I like him.
I can say the same about yours. He's a
Oh,
bit skittish, but he's interesting enough.
well, we are two very different ladies. I would say the same about yours as well.
uh, Also, can I say that Jack just kind of stumbles at meanwhile Jack is just stumbling out of the bus.
I think Marcel, like, who is seated like on the seat of the bus stop and just like so frazzled, like spots Jack and goes, Jack.
Hi, Sal. Fancy seeing you here.
Yes, what a. And he's looking at the retreating bus and he goes, what a stroke of luck.
Uh,
I think,
yeah,
hold on, I'm just gonna. Alright, I think Sal is going to go, alright, today's just a self-care day, I suppose, and like just take out like 2 mugs of hot chocolate from his hammer space and offer one to Jack.
Jack is gonna like he was saving these snacks for later. He's gonna have them right now.
And
he gladly takes the mug and was like, "So, you got soaked."
yes, and I met someone interesting.
I also did. Um, I can do something about the water though, and he does prestidigitate like the water out of Cell's clothes.
Sal gives a quiet happy little, thanks, Jack.
Yeah. Thanks for the hot chocolate.
You're welcome. And I think because he's so curious, Cranky, like he's so curious, I think he's gonna bite the bullet and he's gonna ask, how often do you meet your patron?
Maybe I don't know. Only I've did don't can I have three guesses on who you just met?
Yes.
Misfortune.
He sighs and takes a sip of his hot chocolate. Yes. Got it.
Guess who I met?
He looks at Jack, and I think he's gonna take in how frazzled Jack looks. And he's gonna, oh, did you meet my patron? Did you meet the wishing star?
Yep. Ding ding ding.
He takes another gulp of his hot chocolate.
To answer your question, I've only seen her once, maybe twice.
That's understandable. I don't think I've seen her in person for a while now. She's misfortune, certainly. He pauses. Interesting.
I could say the same for Wishing Star.
It's not too bad once you're used to her.
I don't think I'll ever get used to her.
Well,
I
and
hope
he
I hope I don't have to.
and he kind of huffs out the little laugh at that and goes, I don't think you'll have anything to worry. You are spoken for after all.
Good riddance.
And I think we could end the FPS here if you want, just the two of them like drinking
Yeah.
hot chocolate together at the bus stop.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you guys had a really good time.